Moving on now, Syrian media say the U.S.-led coalition's warplanes have bombed the city of Dayr Al-Zawr, killing at least 14 civilians. The airstrikes targeted Al-Shafa district. The U.S.-led coalition has not commented on the attack. On Saturday, a similar U.S.-led air raid killed 20 civilians in Dayr Al-Zawr. The coalition carries out airstrikes in Syria without the approval of the country's government. Washington claims these attacks only target Daesh terrorists, but many civilians have been confirmed dead in these air raids. Syria has repeatedly demanded an end to the U.S.-led bombing campaign, calling it a violation of its sovereignty. Now, for more on that, we are joined by Mimi Al-Laham, analyst and political commentator, joining us live from Perth. Thank you very much, Mimi, once again for joining us on Press TV's Top 5. Now, what is your take on this recent development? What do you think about the recent attacks and the fact that the Syrian government has time and again stressed that it considers this a violation of its sovereignty?
Well, the U.S. has never been invited into Syria. They have no UN jurisdiction to be there. They are violating Syrian sovereignty and breaking international law by having an invading force inside the country and bombing the country. So this makes the deaths of these civilians a war crime doubly so. And the reasons that the U.S. has given to be in Syria is to fight ISIS and so-called humanitarian reasons. I mean, how many times have we heard Trump or Clinton talk about beautiful babies and, civilian deaths? And now here they are using chemical weapons, white phosphorus, on civilians in Syria, whilst they're allowing ISIS to continue to grow on the Syrian-Iraqi border near Al-Qaim. The real purpose the U.S. is in Syria is to prevent Syria from getting access to its oil, which is on the east side of the Euphrates. At the same time, they're putting sanctions on Syria and putting embargoes on Syria's oil to basically starve people to death and make sure Syria remains weak and unable to rebuild.
Now, Mimi, what do you make of the civilian death toll? We expect from Americans, considering the fact that they keep boasting about the kinds of weapons that they're using, to be able to target exactly what they want to hit, and there shouldn't be that much collateral damage, whereas we hear about civilians being killed all the time.
Well, that's right. The U.S. always boasts that they have smart bombs that specifically target people, and they claim that Syria uses indiscriminate bombs. But it's interesting that, the civilian death toll, especially in Raqqa, was so astronomical compared to anything that was witnessed in the rest of Syria, including the offensive on Aleppo, that it begs the question, if these bombs are so smart and they can target individuals, that basically means that the U.S. intentionally is targeting these civilians, and that is the definition of a war crime.
Thank you very much, Mimi Al-Laham, analyst and political commentator, joining us live from Perth with her take on the situation in Syria.